Hello and welcome to the Bear-Free Revolution podcast. I'm joined by Vinayak and Jatin, and today we will be recapping the game week 3 of the Premier League. Starting with our first match, Brighton versus Manchester United.
Absolute daylight robbery bolte hai na. It's just absolute daylight robbery. I mean, Brighton had the game of their lives. I think they're looking like one of the dark horses for the season if they can keep their players fit. Lamptey, as usual, was just out of the world. They've got Marsh, who's playing really well. They've got Zatin in midfield. They missed I think Bissouma. He was not playing that game, and he's another talent. Alzate is a talent. And Neil Maupay is a talent. Very, very. They're looking very exciting, and Graham Potter is getting them to play a style of football which is beyond their resources. United absolute shambles. Like what? Just the just continuation of the game they had against Crystal Palace. Shambles.
United are playing really bad. I don't know what the reason is, but the way they're playing right now, they don't deserve to be in the top half of the table. Or Brighton, I think they set a record for hitting the post most number of times in the Premier League ever.
There are lots of Premier League evers this week, but वही तो snidey comment मारा अपना Bruno ने snidey comment सुना तूने कि it's not about hitting the post, it's about scoring goals ऐसे करके. चलो देखते हैं कितने गोल मारते हैं.
Okay, now let's talk about Brom versus Chelsea. Chelsea were 3-0 down in the first 30 minutes. 3 huge errors from Chelsea defenders.
Yeah, like you said it right. It's just errors from defenders. I don't think we'll be able to blame the system or blame Frank Lampard for those defensive errors. I think no coach can predict those and set a team up to make those errors. It was heartening to see the comeback and the fact that 3 academy players scored. Like they've got the benefit of a whole season of experience, right? And I think credit to Lampard where it's due for creating this wonderful backup system. But 250 million खर्च किया है, वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर ले आया है, उनको असेंबल करने में उसको थोड़ा प्रेशर आ रहा है, थोड़ा सा फट रहा है उसका, वो दिखता है टीम के प्ले में, हाउ दे आर सेटिंग अप. तो ठीक है, गुड साइंस एंड worrying signs as well.
Athletic में मैंने पढ़ा कि that was last match for Alonso.
तू बड़ा एथलेटिक पढ़ रहा है बिना सब्सक्रिप्शन लिए.
30 day pass मिला है.
Fantastic. मेरे से झगड़ा वगड़ा कर लिया और like I think if there were ever a blessing, I don't think it's a blessing in disguise. I just think it's a blessing. He has had his contribution to Chelsea. We won a season because of his brilliant forward play when he was under Conte. But now I think his Chelsea career is on sort of on a lower trend, and it'll be good for both of them. Lampard as well as Alonso if he leaves. Chilwell coming in.
Exactly. Or if needed, you can always have Aspie playing there, so you always have a backup if needed.
Who do you want to leave, Alonso or Emerson? Or both?
Alonso. I think Aspie is not naturally left-sided. He can play in any position whatsoever. But I think Emerson gives that option. Like he's a proper left back or a left winger, and so definitely would want to see Alonso leave. Although I respect him a lot. I think he's given a lot.
But Emerson hasn't really performed well for Chelsea, right? Given his performances.
Yeah, I guess I think we can keep debating this. But yeah, just don't want Chelsea to use Aspie as a left back. I think we're going to lose a lot of flair down there if Chilwell were to be injured. Aspie is brilliant undoubtedly, but he's not a modern day for the back. He's a brilliant right back, but left, I just think the system will be a little disbalanced.
Spurs versus Newcastle. Spurs dominated the match. 23 shots, 4 big chances created, and ended up with a draw.
Typical Mourinho, right? Playing so well in the first half. What does he want to prove? Like they played for the clean sheet throughout the second half. People are talking about the penalty. I don't think you can blame the penalty. A lot of teams have been hard done by it. United के against वो stupid सा penalty मिला. Lindelof का हाथ लगा. Spurs के साथ भी हुआ था. Southampton के साथ जो Doherty के पीछे लगा था. Similar incidents. तब तो कुछ नहीं बोला because he won the match. It's a rule. Like you can be against that rule, for that rule. You can change that rule, but that doesn't take away anything from the fact that you were unable to kill the game off.
Exactly. They should have killed the game off in the first half itself. Forget the second half.
Exactly.
इतने सारे chances score करने के.
Exactly. I haven't seen a performance as poor as I've seen from the Newcastle team on that day. I think they were the worst team I've seen in the Premier League in that first half. But yeah, they snatched a point. They'll be the
But
one rejoicing.
what do you think with Son out for at least a few weeks probably? How will that affect Spurs now?
I mean, they're super reliant on Son, like on the especially like the mobility he gives from the left hand side cutting in. He allows so many players to make runs, and he's so quick in his decision making. He, they'll probably have Bergwijn playing, and Bergwijn is not. He doesn't have that same ability to go past players or dribble. Like he's very direct. He's very good. I think what will help is if Reguilon comes in soon. That will bolster that left hand side, and he can make a lot of runs and create that space that Son used to do it almost single handedly. He had very little support on the left from Ben Davies because the system that Mourinho plays is that when the right back almost plays like a right wing back, and the left back he slots in and creates a back three when Spurs are attacking. Um, so he doesn't get any support currently. Son does it all by himself. He will. So if Bergwijn and Reguilon play, I think that's going to be a combination that could cover up for Son. But huge miss.
We might see them in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea.
That's going to be fun.
Interesting.
What do you think about City versus Leicester? A Pep side for in the history of Pep's coaching, he's conceded 5 goals for the first time ever. City had 72% ball possession, took 16 shots, and ended up losing the match 5-2.
Jeez. Birthday boy JT.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Leicester played brilliantly. तो लेस्टर के प्ले का जितना तारीफ करो उतना कम होगा इसमें. And you have to give credit to Vardy. I mean, he's 32 and he's still performing better than most strikers in the league.
He won a lot of people. I think a friend of ours had him as captain. I don't know why, but that was masterstroke. Although I would say one thing: when the match started, I was literally abusing Brendan Rodgers for the cowardly formation that he fielded against City, because I spoke a lot about the systems that he's created, how players slot in and play well. He changed that system. They were playing 5 at the back, and they were struggling for the first 30 minutes of the game, 20 to 25 minutes of the game, absolutely decimated by City. There was this one moment in the game when Mendy got the ball, Fernandinho chasing him, and he turned with the ball. Very risky, because if Fernandinho would have been able to nick the ball off him, it could have led to a City goal. He turned, he showed a little bit of courage, and that changed the game. Because when he turned, Leicester realized that if you beat that first press, you've got space galore. And with Mardy making those runs in between the back four, there was so much space. Just you had to break that first press. I think that was the turning point of the match. Like, they're calling out Vardy, but I think it was Mendy who showed Leicester that if they break the first press, that's it.
What do you think about this departure of Sane? Is that hurting them?
I don't think so.
Like they got Ferran Torres, who I think is like Jesus Navas region. That's it.
I would disagree with that. I think it's not Ferran Torres who's City's downfall. I think it's slightly because of Pep's tactics and the players that he's got at his disposal currently. I don't think Rodri is as good as he was like Pep thought he would be, and it's a systemic issue. It's not a player issue. They've got massive spaces between their first press and their backline that teams can easily exploit. You can't bring in players and fix it. You have to change the system.
Pep is again dipping into the transfer market for another defender.
They have signed Ruben Dias.
Imagine the amount of money Pep has spent on just defenders.
400 million.
It's ridiculous.
400 million to fix the defense.
But I don't think he's got a defense that he wants. He just keeps changing it every couple of years.
That's what happens when you say I don't teach people how to tackle in training. That's not important. There has to be a time when things come back to you.
Okay, now let's talk about the main match, Liverpool versus Arsenal. How impressed were you with the high line of Liverpool?
Jerry, how impressed were you of the low line of Arsenal?
Yeah, Liverpool, see, they're going to play with their system no matter what. And right now, it doesn't look like there's any team that will give them a challenge. I expect them to really challenge for the title. Hope Man City are able to solve their issues, but then Liverpool look really, really strong.
Yeah, I think more than Liverpool looking strong, I think it's just about like coaches like Arteta, Lampard were super new to the game in terms of coaching pedigree. Like you could just see in their mindset and the way they feel their teams, how much respect they offer the opposition. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. Even if it's Liverpool who's won the league, I expect Arsenal to go all out yesterday. They played a very timid game. Pura ka pura. I think the first half they were dominated. एक जो goal मारा वो Robertson का assist है. People were saying that Robertson was channeling his inner Ozil. But what I would say is there's some things that I was impressed by, especially with there seems to be more strength and drive in this Arsenal team, which I hadn't seen before. Like they were meek before. There seems to be a little more of fight, be it the tactical introduction of El Neni into the system, or like the combination of Xhaka and El Neni, while not creative, but giving them that bite. Luiz had a really good game yesterday, and so I was impressed. I was just sad. These new coaches are not putting up a fight. Like they're just being too much respect. Let's see what Bielsa does against City.
So talking about that, let's give our prediction for the next week.
Perfect.
हमें predictions आने टाइम नहीं देने चाहिए पता है
हाँ मुझे भी लगता है हम लोग बंद कर देने
गलत
बंद कर देने
ए सोच कोई हमारा सब्सक्राइबर बैठ के नोट कर रहा है और सीजन के एंड में हमारी मारेगा अच्छा है एनीथिंग फॉर
मेरे ख्याल से
कंटेंट
हमारा सुन के लोग एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट बेट लगाना स्टार्ट करें तो दे मेक अर्न अ लॉट ऑफ मनी
हाँ नहीं वी आर नॉट दैट बैड जेडी लाइक वी हम थियरी में गलत प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं प्रैक्टिकल में गलत हो जाता है मतलब थियरी में सही प्रेडिक्ट करते हैं ब्राइटन यूनाइटेड तू बता that wasn't the wrong prediction
okay
what are the next fixtures
Chelsea versus Palace first match
Chelsea to nick it
इतना टाइम लगा यार चेल्सी को होने में
Chelsea to nick it
Everton versus Brighton
ओए तू बता जेटी बता
तो मेरा चेल्सी है
Chelsea
अच्छा
यार मुझे नहीं लगता हम कोई भी चेल्सी के मैच में चेल्सी के अगेंस्ट
हाँ वो भी है
लिवरपूल वाले में भी चेल्सी बोला था
हाँ
Everton versus Brighton
oh good game yeah good game difficult to predict Everton versus Brighton मतलब Everton home है
बट अभी होम अवे का कोई मतलब नहीं
हाँ वो भी थोड़ा सा मतलब होता है like you still have to travel but I think Everton will nick it
yeah I'll go for Everton
same Leeds versus City
यार ये गेम ऑफ
Hi Guardiola against his idol I think City will win it I would love it if Leeds thrash City
yeah I want to say Leeds but City will win
I think Pep can't afford to lose another match
exactly
so
title खत्म हो जाएगा
हाँ so they are going all out against Leeds Newcastle versus Burnley
shitty game
yeah.
Burnley to nick it
I hope Charlie Taylor एक गोल मार दे
ये तेरी टीम में
okay Leicester versus West Ham
Leicester to win it
Leicester
yeah Southampton versus West Brom
Southampton to win it
Southampton
okay Arsenal versus Sheffield are on a 3-match losing streak
5 matches without scoring I think no 5 match losing streak from last season 3 matches they haven't scored a goal and I go with Sheffield
oh.
even I go with Sheffield I think they will,
yes
they will do something against Arsenal
absolutely
यार तुम दोनों के अगेंस्ट जा
chal
Jamie Carragher said that Fulham are definitely getting relegated
yeah someone posted a meme saying that Fulham officials are asking whether there's a possibility to get relegated in September But I mean, like Scott Parker, what is he? Like, poor guy. Like, I just don't think like he's been backed, and like definitely Fulham are going to lose this one.
कोलम का COO या फिर कोई तो टेक्निकल डायरेक्टर उसने ट्वीट किया कि वो लोग जिस भी सेंटर बैक को पीछे पड़ रहे हैं या तो वो कोविड हो गया है उसको या फिर कुछ इश्यू है. So right now they are after the 5th center back choice. So मतलब do you think they should tweet something like that?
I don't think so. I think it puts out the wrong message. But anyway, it's Fulham. किसको खरीदेंगे जिससे उनका पूरा सीजन बदल जाएगा? They'll have to buy 11 players.
Okay, Villa versus Liverpool.
Liverpool are going to win this.
Now the main match, United versus Spurs.
Oh, what a game! What a game! I think Mourinho is going to kill the game. It'll be last time याद है JT हमने जब ये बोला था तब क्या हुआ था?
गोल फिएस्टा कर दिया
7 गोल.
ओले ने कुछ बोला था कि मोरिन्यो नहीं है तो वो गोल पोस्ट को नाप नहीं पाएगा. And then Jose said कि Ole would prefer a 22-yard box instead of an 18-yard box. So already the mind games have started.
पर वो Jose आजकल खुद ही mind games खेल के खुद ही वो हो जाता है demoralize. भाई को थोड़ा मतलब यूनाइटेड के अगेंस्ट आई थिंक वो पिट जाएगा अगर वो बहुत ज्यादा डिफेंसिव खेलने की कोशिश किया ना जैसे वो खेलता है. They'll nick a goal and then he'll be done.
And they have a very important match in the Europa also.
अरे 2 matches Maccabi Haifa and आज का भी गेम तो important है ना. वो लैम्पार्ड के साथ तो झगड़ा हो जा रहा है आजकल उसका.
And Son is injured. So you think Bale will come in against United?
Bale won't ना 1 month.
Bale मेरे ख्याल से हाँ 1 महीने के लिए आएगा तो कोई चांस नहीं है.
तो वो आ जाए बहुत अच्छा होगा यार. Sergio. He's a breathtaking player. उसको अगर मोरिन्यो चौमुना बना दे पता चला सेंटर बैक खेल रहा है. But what a player. उसको last season यूरोपा में देखा था मतलब he flies like and his rate of tracking back and the way he defends it's fantastic. I think he's the best left back in the world. अब देखते हैं मोरिन्यो क्या करता है उसके साथ. पता चला 2 महीने के बाद तंगंगा खेल रहे हैं भाई बेंच पे बैठे हैं. फुटबॉल will die that day.
ये प्रेडिक्ट तो करो आंसर ही नहीं बोला तो किसी ने प्रेडिक्ट नहीं किया ये गेम.
United to win it.
Spurs will win it for sure.
अच्छा devil's advocate खेल रहा हूँ क्योंकि hedge कर रहा हूँ. तो ड्रॉ चल ठीक है कोई नहीं. ये वही वाला हो गया ना. Leeds will smash क्या Sheffield. Perfect.
Finally क्या है तेरा? United will win.
United or draw.
United win बोला चंपी.
हाँ United win. भाई इसको देख पुलिस बैठा है वहाँ पे. Win बोला है तो हाँ भाई हाँ win.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for coming, guys. See you all.
like subscribe नहीं बोलेंगे ना?
नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं बोलेंगे.
तो 1K कैसे आएगा? तो बटन डाल दियो भले ही ना बोले.